Hey friends, we're coming to you live from INTERSOURCE by Stark with my guest today, Nancy Nelsen-Flom. And I'm pumped to have you on the show. She is a design industry icon. She's a second generation business owner, and she recently took an exit to partner with a national brand that I alluded to, Stark. I'd like to welcome to the show my guest, Nancy Nelsen-Flom.
Wow, thank you, Aaron, for having me.
I'm pumped to be, and I'm so excited to be in your showroom. We were emailing back and forth about doing this for a while, and then I'm like, why don't we just do it in your showroom? I got all this new fancy gear. Let's do this thing.
Yeah, it's a great idea. I love it. I love it.
And I mean, people get to kind of see, anybody who's watching on YouTube, you get to see what we have going on back here. And so we're tucked away on a little nook here as part of the showroom, but there's a whole expansive showroom here that people can check out. And so you and I have been friends for a while, and I would say we were in the same industry for a while, and I would say we were more industry associates.
Right.
Where then after when I got out, I would say you and Eric are friends.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's, to me, is the best part about doing this kind of stuff. And I'm excited to share your story with our people, our listeners. And so let's dig in.
Great. I'm excited to be here.
So where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Crystal, Minnesota, just on the borderline of Crystal and Golden Valley, not far from where I live now.
You were saying that, and I saw that on the prep form, and you have not moved far.
No, I travel. I love to travel, but my parents, I stayed close to my parents. Yeah.
Are you a creature of habit?
I love change all the time.
Do you?
Yes. I love variety. Just even in my getting ready in the morning, I will switch it up every day just because I think variety is the spice of life.
100%. I agree.
Yeah,
Not everybody's like that.
I know.
Judging by your choice of location for where you live, you would have never known that.
Right. Well, so my mom had a disability growing up, and so I felt pretty tied to her and emotionally and everything. So that really kept me close by. And then owning a business, that's going to keep you close by.
Yeah, we're super close to where you live now, right?
Yeah.
Where your showroom is.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's dig into some of the family stuff. So there were so many things that you put on the prep form, and I'm like, I never knew this about Nancy. I never knew this about Nancy. So you have two adopted siblings, and then you're natural born.
I'm the surprise.
Tell me about that.
Well, it was challenging at times, right? But my dad had black hair, my mom had red hair, my sister had black hair, my brother had red hair, and I had the combo. So I thought, okay. I knew, and everyone knew, but it seemed like it could be passable. Yeah. But we're all very, very different. So nature versus nurture is very interesting. Yeah,
so that's a question I always ask on this show. So in the nature versus nurture thing, where do you... Don't give me 50-50. Where do you fall in on that paradigm?
Nature.
And in what respect?
Well, if I was around all the same value instilling and teachings and upbringing as my siblings were, yet we're all very, very different, and me more so. Nature. Yeah. All
right. So then, do you carry a lot of the same business owner mentality things that can you see some of those same tendencies as you became a more experienced business owner that you share in your parents?
Absolutely. Yeah, especially my dad.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. We talk shop all the time. So we were, up at his cabin, that's what we'd be doing. We'd talk shop. So he was definitely a huge mentor for me. What is
one attribute that you feel that you strongly hold from your dad, and one attribute that you feel you strongly hold from your mom?
Okay, so my dad's famous words: nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Yeah.
And my mom would be perseverance, because she had this disability, and she just had class like you wouldn't believe. You would not even know she had a disability. She couldn't walk.
Okay.
Unless you looked at her cart, right? She was always well put together, positive attitude, overcame all the struggles with it, but just put on a happy face. So perseverance.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I never knew that about your mom.
Yeah.
And how did that affect your childhood?
I didn't know. I didn't know it was different. So I went to my girlfriend's house, went home on the bus with my who ended up to be my best friend. It was second grade.
Yeah.
And her mom did daycare, and she was running after a child, and I was like, I didn't know moms could run. Could you believe it?
That's great.
I know. So I didn't know any different. Obviously as I grew up, I learned the differences, but now I often think about, like, if I'm hiking with my daughters, things my mom couldn't have done.
Yeah.
But no, she was super, super thoughtful. She could figure out what I knew for gifts and so forth, what I needed, more than I even knew.
All right.
So I'm super, super thoughtful.
Yeah. What was your deal? Like, what was your jam in high school? Extracurricular activities, things
my
like that. Were you a
gosh.
good student? I gotta believe
I was a great student.
Yeah.
Pretty great. I was better in college even than high school. I'm not sure why that was, but maybe I got to pick my classes I wanted to be in.
Yeah.
Did dance line, was super social.
Yeah.
Did not do the cheerleading thing or any other sports at the time, which I regret, but it was what I was exposed to.
Yeah. So was it predetermined that because your father was in the flooring industry that you were going to go to school for interior design, or was that something you truly had a passion for?
Yeah, so I had a passion for design. I got exposed to his designer on staff, of course, at a very young age. Mm-hmm. Picture, rolls of carpet, and I would be like rolling all over them. It was super fun, great playground. But I really thought I should do something medical oriented. I was very into health and fitness, still am. And really did a lot of physiology, exercise physiology, like my first year up at Duluth, went to UMD. And I came home for Christmas, and I remember talking to my cousin, who's like a big sister to me. She's about 8 years older. She lives out in your area, actually. Yeah. And I said, do I follow my head or my heart? And she said, you gotta follow your heart.
Yeah, right.
So then I was like, okay, I'll come back down to the U. About 25 of us went up to UMD. About 20 of us came back year two.
Yeah,
it was very depressed at the time. It was very different than it is now. Yeah, it was 1984, 85. Very depressed economy. So not a lot happening.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, I enrolled in interior design at the U of M.
Sweet. And never looked back?
Never looked back, no.
Did you, so what was there, did you do internships while you were at school that really kind of solidified the decision that you were happy staying in interior design? And then when did you start to think that you were maybe going to get into the same industry as your family?
Yeah, so we weren't really required to do an internship until close to the end.
Okay.
And I graduated, December of '88. So basically, I went into commercial design. I wanted to do restaurant, hospitality, retail, and I did that. The economy was very up and down. Started my work at Heisey Random McRae with Jim Smart. He's a character. I still love him. He's just an awesome guy. Great role model. Very social. Knows everybody walking down the street in downtown. And then went to Norwest Properties, which, Wells Fargo. Norwest back in the day, and then ended up at Shea Architects, which I worked with Janice Linster, who's I'm still very close friends with.
Yeah. She's over at Kensler now.
Yeah, I know she is.
That.
Yeah, she's doing great. I love her.
Yeah.
And really, it was at that point then I left and I went to my dad's after I spent some time at Shea, and then I thought, oh, maybe I should. My dad wanted me to always be part owner. Maybe I'll go work for him. And so then that's when I joined his company for a few years.
So we're going to dig into that. I want to listen to a few of our community supporters. They're the ones that keep the wheels on this bus. So we're going to hear from a few of our community supporters, and then we're going to be right back with Nancy.
United Healthcare is dedicated to helping people live healthier lives and making the health system work better for everyone by simplifying the healthcare experience, meeting consumer health and wellness needs, and sustaining trusted relationships with care providers. UHC is continually focused on building a modern, high-performing health system via improved access, affordability, outcomes, and experiences. With a network of over 1.6 million physicians and healthcare professionals in over 6,000 hospitals, United Healthcare is dedicated to connecting employers and their employees to better health by offering quality benefits designed for affordability. For more information, visit United Healthcare at www.uhc.com. United Healthcare, helping people live healthier lives. For more than 20 years, Kaisa has been the trusted financial advisor for women, business owners, executives, and high net worth families, developing financial plans designed to meet them where they are and propel them to where they want to be. Their mission is to remove the worry and stress associated with financial planning and replace it with clarity and confidence. The Kaisa team takes the time to understand each client's unique situation, from financial concerns to the visions that they have for current and future generations, in order to create a truly customized plan. Through consistent communication and personal attentiveness, Kaisa is fiercely devoted to personal well-being and financial prosperity. Get to know the Kaisa team and how they can serve you at kaisawealth.com. All right, everybody needs a bank. Not just any bank, a good community bank. From personal needs like checking and savings accounts to business services like financing and M&A support, the team at Flagship Bank is there to provide you with the assistance you need so you can spend less time thinking about your finances and more time enjoying what your money can do for you. To learn more, head over to Flagship Banks, that's flagshipbanks with an S.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Flagship Bank, investing in you. Every year brings new challenges for Minnesota business leaders, and USI Insurance is here to take the pressure off of the employee benefits decision. Having a local presence with national resources, USI combines a client-centric culture with leading-edge technical resources so you can make an informed decision on your benefits investment. The USI team has been deeply committed to investing into our local communities and utilizes their expertise to provide solutions you can count on to protect your greatest asset, your employees. USI has been partnering with Twin Cities businesses for decades, and they would welcome the opportunity to do the same for you. Visit USI.com to learn how USI's approach to risk management and employee benefits delivers customized, actionable solutions with bottom-line impact. When you think of a typical CPA firm, you probably think of tax planning. Well, that just scratches the surface of what Boulay offers their clients. By providing smart, in-depth thinking from experts in accounting, audit, tax, and business consulting, they know what it takes to achieve financial success. Whether it's protecting your business, building your wealth, or securing your future, you can count on Boulay to go beyond addressing just financial matters and providing you with tailor-made, workable solutions. Learn about all they have to offer at BoulayGroup.com. Boulay, helping you get there.
All right, we're back with Nancy here at INTERSOURCE by Stark. I kind of breezed over your childhood because there's just so much that you identify with in your business. I just know that about you. Also, I kind of feel like we're stepping on a little bit of a touchdown call. You've been with your husband forever. And so when did you start dating Eric?
So he was about 12 days before his 15th birthday. He was 14 and I was 15. We're 4 months apart.
That is, I know. You two are inseparable. And like, to me, that is your business partner, or was your business partner since the like all of that, that's pretty, that in itself is pretty amazing. Yeah. And it's just a true testament to like how much you value relationships.
For sure.
In a lot of different ways. And I know that about you. And so when you made the decision to get out of interior design, leave Shea, go into the business, the family business, was Eric a package deal or was he doing something else?
So his background, he went to the U of M for interior design also. He had a little bit more architecture interest, but ended up on the interior design route. And so he did a lot of technical drawings and things like that at different design firms. We were actually working at competing design firms. So they wouldn't tell us who they're marketing for because of the RFPs that were out there. That'd be pillow talk. So we weren't really privy to that information. Isn't that funny? So we're going on 35 years being married. So it wasn't a package deal. So when I started INTERSOURCE, he was at the first firm I started at was his last firm. Isn't that funny? This little package. And for the first year, even though I was doing INTERSOURCE by myself, he was nighttime IT guy and helped with my technical and so forth. So in a sense, even though I started it and he had a full-time job, it was a year later is when he joined.
So I don't know if I know we've ever talked about like that. So you said you joined the family business, but then you started INTERSOURCE. Tell me about that. Yeah,
so about 2.5 years I spent working at my dad's company, and he wanted me to be part owner and take pride in that. My brother worked there as well, and we just have a different work ethic. And so a light bulb went off, and I thought, if I would have known this technical information when I was on the design side, that would have been golden.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, why not create a commercial and residential? My dad's company was a little bit more residential oriented, but I had a commercial design background.
Right.
Put it all together and do furnish and install commercial and residential flooring. So there you go.
And you're still doing that today?
Yeah, so that was 96. I was pregnant with my first child, must have been the hormones.
You know what's so funny is we do this show and there's so many people that started their business, I'm using air quotes here, when they were pregnant with their first child.
Yeah.
Like I think maybe there is something in that or just pure coincidence.
Yeah.
Like Heidi Olsen,
Yeah.
like, who's in our
Yeah.
C9 group, like
Love
she
her.
started her first business all in one accounting when she was pregnant with her first child.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I can't imagine, do you feel like, first of all, because you knew a lot about the business, was it a good seamless transition to start that business or was it just stressful as well?
Yeah, 5-6 meetings a day. I mean, it was stressful, but again, I think just growing up with my parents, the perseverance and the business, I just felt, and my dad kind of said, oh, you just need to work super hard for 12 years. Well, that 12 was really like 26 and a half.
Right. Right, we know that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I believe my dad, right?
Yeah.
And so I just was like, no, it's the grindstone. And my thing that I always say to my girls is you can do it if you put your mind to it. So I was just resolute and I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
And it was out of a closet in our lower level. It was actually the workroom, and we turned it into an office. And it was about 4 feet by 12 feet. And we had 2 drafting tables and a wall of architect binders. And yeah.
So you did more.
Out of Bryn Mawr, Minneapolis.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. And so you would go to them, right?
Yeah, I would go to people.
Go to design firms if it was on the commercial side or even the
Yep.
residential side. And even that, so one of the things I know that you say that you're through the trades, you work through the trades. At the very beginning, was that part of the vision?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
Was that just part of the, is that just part
Well,
of
I'm
the
just
deal?
so protective of designers, and I think that it is just part of the deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you, when you had your business and your dad and brother had that business, did you compete?
Very rarely. It was very rare because they're in a different market. They're up in Anoka, and they do more residential builder and retail. So not really. I did grow it a little bit larger though, and I think my dad he had pride in that, watching me do that.
Yeah,
He's
sure.
totally supported. Actually, when I left, it was all on good terms. Obviously, he gave us a 1-year letter credit with his impeccable credit, and we opened up all of our accounts and everything. We were good to go, and then he pulled it out from under us about a year later. So that was priceless.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Where do you think, was that an inflection point for you? Like, so I think there's stages of growth. Okay, you started your business, right, 1996, you said. And then when do you think was the next, like level that you hit in being a business owner?
Yeah, so when we moved from Bryn Mawr into North Tyrol, I said I needed a bigger office, which meant I needed a bigger house. So the lower level was our office, had more residential and commercial books, had the second child, and that was kind of a pivot point because I thought, well, we're going to need this space for the kids to play. So we moved out into the building that iSpace was in.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you did?
Yeah, in 1999. In fact, we moved in November and she was born in January.
Oh.
I remember being quite large while we were moving.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So when did you move to IMS then?
2009. Yeah.
And when did, independent of you and Eric, when did you hire your first employee?
Oh, I'm going to say probably 1999. However, my mom helped do the books prior.
Yeah.
She'd come over like once a week and do that before we got it on computer.
How, so let's say first couple employees, going from owning your own business and being self-responsible, to then being responsible for other people, other human beings, what happened in all that? Like, when did your brain make that switch of like, oh, I'm responsible for another person?
Well, initially, but then much more so when we became a team of like 12, which we were for a really long time. We're still a team of around 12, 13.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, just with efficiencies and processes that we've put in place, how we're able to do more with less people.
Yeah.
But for a while we had too many people and less volume, and that's not the right way. But we had a group of individuals, and we really needed it to make it be a team. That was a pivot point also. When we moved probably, out of the home office in across the street here, and then we moved over here in the recession, which was really big risk.
0809.
Yeah, we moved in 2009, which was really rough because we just thought sink or die, sink or swim. We've got to really get to where the people are. And so we thought we'll make that shift. And we really wanted a lot of years under our belt to work with the discriminating clientele here. So that's why we waited all those years. So then 2009 was good. And I mean, it got better while we got more exposure here. But we thought if we stayed across the street, we might go out of business.
Really?
Because of the recession.
And
things really slowed down.
Because of the exposure that you have being in IMS, that's what helps.
And I can only do so much outreach, right? So, I mean, I still do outreach to this day, but it's just easier if you're here.
Oh, for sure.
I didn't even want to walk across the street and get a sandwich and a coffee to come over here, It's like, well, you were over there, right? If it was raining out or snowing, right, so why not be here?
I just ordered Jimmy John's.
Yeah.
It was the worst, I hated it.
Yeah.
Terrible. So then, you've kind of had the same size team for a while. Has that team been together for a long time, or has it gone through iterations?
It's gone through iterations. There's some people that are the same for a long time, and then again, when we really determined we needed a team to get this thing rolling better, that's when I became a better hiring person, probably, and really hire to the core values, and hire for attitude.
So in that respect, that was a question I wanted to ask you, is that, you take great pride in servant leadership and being a mentor to your people. Has that always been the case, or was there a time where there was the aha moment of like, okay, I need to be a leader and less of an owner? Yeah,
for sure. I would say when I became maybe the same age or older than my employees, because initially I had some employees that were older than me, harder to lead those folks, right? Because they had a lot of history and, routines, so to speak.
If it's not broken, don't fix it. Mindset and stuff.
Yeah. So,
okay, so you owned your business for 26 and a half years, and then I went through this from an arm's length of all of a sudden you get a phone call, and this does not, we all know that this just does not happen. I'm pinching myself still. It's crazy. And so what I'm alluding to is the fact that you were approached by Stark to take a buyout, and I want to dig into that because I think you had never, one, it wasn't on your radar.
No.
Two is that is such an interesting process, and I think taking, you being in the interior design industry in a relatively isolated world as a business owner, minus the groups that you're in, like C9 and WPO and stuff like that, but yet very rarely do people get to go through this, and so it's building your team. So when you pick up that phone and you have that conversation, the initial conversation, and you know it's going somewhere, where's your head at?
Wow. Will I be a good employee? Can you believe it?
Yeah, I know. We talked about that.
Yeah. Will I be able to adapt? And that has not been a problem.
Yeah.
It's
How long
it's great.
Has that been since you closed?
So it's going to be a year on June 1st.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I remember you came to our C9 group and you pitched this to us of this is an opportunity and things like that. And so we kind of dug in on some of the things that you needed to do to kind of build your team. Who, as you were approaching these negotiation conversations and starting to explore what this acquisition looked like, who was on your team? You don't have to say names, but
absolutely.
Who are the key role players that were on your team, right? It's you and Eric.
Yeah. So we had an accountant, we had an attorney, we had a business valuation person. We have a lot of friends that are just wise and savvy, but C9, you all really, you can remember the reaction. It wasn't super positive.
Yeah.
It was cautiously, you guys were very concerned about what I was about to do. For good reason, because most acquisitions don't go so well.
And we're highly protective, one. But then also, too, is we didn't know the details around who these people were.
For sure.
A lot of it is in character of the organization that is the acquiring.
Right. Our philosophies aligned.
Is there core value alignment? You know, is it as big as it actually feels, or does it have a family feel, which it sounds to me like it does.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think what's fascinating about this is that notice that we haven't talked about money yet.
No.
Like to me, the thing that I always found really interesting about your process was that money was always like down the list of things that you were concerned about. It was more like, okay, one, am I terminally unemployable?
Yeah.
Can I be a good employee?
Yeah.
Which I got to give you credit. You're way better at that than I would ever be. And then two is like, how is our people going to be treated? And then what's the core value alignment? What was the length of that process from when you got that phone call to when you closed?
To when we closed, 9 months.
9 months?
It should have been a year.
Isn't that fascinating? How you would think that something like that just goes faster, but...
Well, we had to push it because of the lease situation.
Ah, that's right.
So we had to build out, and we had to get out of other space. We couldn't keep adding a month and a month and a month. We did that a few times because it took 18 weeks to get the building permit. But yeah.
Did so owning a business with your husband, how did that have an effect on, was that a challenging time for your relationship?
Well, at times, for sure, and maybe more now than in the past, because things are a little bit more gray, right?
Yeah, right, yeah.
But I would say that, well, initially he was like all in within like an hour, because he was pretty burnt out. He was working way too many hours.
Yeah.
So it took me about a week and a half to just get over my ego and what am I doing? You know, I just needed. The thing that I didn't know at the time is how similarly our philosophies are aligned with this company. I mean, the initiatives that they have on their plate that they're taking action towards are all things that Eric and I wanted to do, but we couldn't do it because we didn't have the funding. They just put $9 million into in-stock area rugs. Okay, like that's not going to happen with Eric and Nancy.
Yeah, for sure.
And the other thing is I'm so protective of the design community, and I wanted to bring them a greater resource for, take what we built. So we still offer all of those offerings, which a lot of people are confused about. We still do commercial, we still do all our specialty products, but then take all of the Stark products as well. And we can curate even outside of Stark if we feel that we need to, even on the residential side. So they're just so workable.
What is, I have so many questions. What is one thing that as you look back on the whole process, that 9-month process, what's one thing you would have done different?
I really don't know if there is one.
Really?
Is that crazy?
That is crazy.
I mean, I really tried hard to get what I wanted in terms of just, not necessarily money, but just the whole thing. And I felt, I mean, I just felt it all worked out really well.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Do you think Eric feels the same way?
Yeah, I do. I really do.
Yeah. I mean, I see you guys around, and obviously I see you, but I see Eric, and I mean, you seem pretty happy.
Yeah,
I think everything's.
absolutely.
And I think the one thing so now your title is showroom manager.
It is.
And I don't love that. I gotta tell you, like I just think it doesn't even come close to.
I know.
So if somebody goes on LinkedIn and you see Nancy, you click on the show notes, it says showroom manager, but then you look at this epic, career, it doesn't even do you justice. So I just wanted to say that.
Well, thank you. I'm
I'm
not in the title.
I know you're not, and you said that from day one.
Right.
But I still think that it's a bunch of crap. Okay, and so. Business stuff aside, one thing I always like to talk about is your family. And so we've talked about your parents who had a huge, profound impact on your life.
Yeah.
I didn't want to talk about your mom too much because I didn't want to make you cry.
No.
So let's talk about your kids.
Yeah. So Bridget and Bergen. So I have a 26-year-old, soon to be 27. Next Monday on Memorial Day, and then Bergen is 24. So 2 daughters. They're incredible. I mean, I just look at them now. I just visited them on Mother's Day out in California, and we just spent time, just the three of us, for 3 nights.
Snuggling?
Yes, we did snuggle. We got matching jams.
I know, you said that.
They were so happy. When I took them out of the bag, they grabbed them and put them on. I was like, I didn't know you guys were going to be so excited.
Oh,
it was great.
So funny. I just have this image in my head, and I think I've only met your daughters once, but the 3 of you hanging out together in matching jams.
Yeah. They had white stars on them. I said, I got them because you're all stars.
Oh my gosh.
I know, it's pretty sappy.
That is so great.
Yeah, they're great. They're very, it's interesting to see where their interests lie and where their talents lie.
Yeah.
Because, Eric and I could have been in the advertising world, actually thinking about where our passions were in the creative world. And that's where the girls are. And they're in strategy, which, my passion is strategy, so it makes sense that they're strategic.
Do they, so if I were to ask them, so let's start with Bridget. Bridget is the older one, right? So let's start with Bridget. What is one thing that they have from a character attribute that they've taken from their mom and from their dad?
Okay. So Bridget, I would say she's pretty calm, cool, and collected. We were hit by a tornado once in 2012, and she was the calmest.
Yeah.
Eric wasn't at home, and it was myself and Bergen and Bridget. 16 oak trees down, it hit our house, and so I would say calm. That'd be Eric. From me, busy. She likes to be social and do this and do that and kind of feel a sense of accomplishment. She likes to eat healthy and exercise too.
How about Bergen?
Bergen. Okay, so Bergen, gosh, she is just hard to pinpoint. I think for me, she's a little bit more social, a little bit, than Bridget. So I'd say we're closer that way.
Yeah.
And very much goes with the flow. Like anything can be given to her, and she just rolls with it. So that'd be more like me. And then with Eric, I'd say their depth of music knowledge.
Oh, nice.
Seriously,
Yeah.
Eric and Bergen really identify.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's all these different musicians they're talking about all the time, and it's very interesting. Yeah. There's a love of music for sure from growing up. They listen to. In fact, when she was in preschool, the person would write me notes every day, right? The instructor. And she said, "Is this the Beatles?" So from an early age, David Bowie, David Byrne. they were all playing from a very young age, so they definitely love music.
You love music, though.
I love music, yeah.
And you've seen some pretty amazing acts. And
Yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about what the future holds. So you've recently exited your business. You're the quote-unquote showroom manager of INTERSOURCE by Stark. Sorry, I had to throw it in there. Let's talk about the next few years.
Work my tail off.
Yeah.
I'm pedal to the metal. I'm not letting up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
How about travel? You love to travel.
Well, for sure. So yeah, my work has changed some. The biggest thing I have is more headspace when I'm not at work. Mm-hmm. So doing Pilates, doing a little bit more exercise, doing more planned social things as well, like with neighborhood, hosting some neighbors in a few weeks for dinner. So yes, travel. We did get a camper van, a little V van, Mercedes Sprinter, which we love, and so we're doing that. And who knows? We're talking about other potential, like how do you start to get property? Do you rent it out because that seems a little less risky, and then turn it into something you really, really want, so that the kids will come visit with their kids eventually. So we're playing around with all those things. Yeah. And is it North Shore? Is it California? Is it in a perfect world? Both. But then what about Golden Valley? And who knows what we can afford? It's hard to say.
Right? There's a lot of options out there.
A lot of options. Yeah. Yeah. But that's been actually one of the biggest problems. I shouldn't say problem, but we want to have a strategic plan like we always have had for our business. Yep. And have a strategic plan for personal. And we did work on it more this weekend when we were camping at Split Rock. But that's been the hardest thing because we're such planners. We didn't plan this whole thing. Yeah. So,
you're still playing catch up.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Because it was a really intense 9 months. Yeah. Yeah. Little PTSD.
Yeah. All right. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to listen to a few more of our community supporters. We're going to come back with 9 questions because that's going to provide a little bit more insight to Nancy. And we'll be right back.
The topic of talent is hot in organizations of any size, and I would argue none more than small to mid-sized businesses. That's why it's crucial to have a partner to help you navigate all the HR idiosyncrasies so you can focus on working on your business and not in it. Insperity is a full-service HR partner with a high-touch, high-tech platform helping owners work through challenges like employee retention, company culture, and benefits, just to name a few. Do yourself a favor and explore all they have to offer at insperity.com. Insperity, HR that makes a difference. If you're an entrepreneur or married to one, your journey is complex. You want financial advice that impacts your whole net worth, including your business, not just stock market investments. You also want a partner that quarterbacks the relationships between the CPA, estate planner, banker, and other trusted advisors. That's where the team at eWealth Partners comes in. We love helping you and your spouse design a financial plan that aligns and empowers you. A plan that addresses your concerns, priorities, and goals tailored to reach your long-term vision. A long-term vision that is worth the pursuit today. Visit ewealthpartners.com to learn how they can help couples like you. eWealth Partners, holistic financial planning for entrepreneurs. Investment advisor services offered through AdvisorNet Wealth Management. eWealth Partners and AdvisorNet Wealth Management are not affiliated. Verseek Search and Consulting is thrilled to support Coalition 9 and this podcast, and we are just as excited to have them as a partner. Verseek is a Minnesota-based, high-performance recruiting firm that specializes in interim solutions, direct hire, and executive leadership search. Their team of experienced professionals and seasoned leaders across various areas of expertise and industries have been in your shoes. They quickly assess your whole company and identify key elements that will take your business to the next level. Your company's success hinges on the capacity of your people, and few areas of your business are more critical than your finance and accounting team. Your company's success hinges on the capacity of your people. Verseek can help connect you with the talented candidates within finance and accounting, along with other areas of expertise in executive search, direct hire, and interim solutions. People are the ultimate business advantage. Find your people together with Verseek and make the best possible for your business. Learn more and contact Verseek by visiting verseek.com and following them on LinkedIn. Regardless if you're a startup just figuring things out or a medium-sized organization with a full team, having a legal partner by your side is crucial. Seiler Law is fiercely loyal to their clients and are passionate about removing headaches and roadblocks that can pop up during the growth of your business. Whether you need general outside counsel, are planning a business transaction, or even need someone to guide you through the estate planning process, the team at Seiler Law are the advocates for you. Visit seilerlaw.com to learn more. Seiler Law, where experience meets pragmatism. If you're anything like me, you know enough to be dangerous when it comes to finance, yet need some help when things get complicated. All-in-One Accounting provides the right financial expertise and leadership to align with your stage of growth. From outsourced accounting and bookkeeping to strategic financial planning, the team of accounting rockstars at All-in-One Accounting are passionate about positively impacting the businesses and lives of their clients. You need to check them out at allinoneaccounting.com. All-in-One Accounting, taking our clients from financial chaos to business clarity and beyond. In addition to the community supporters you heard from on the show today, I also want to give a quick shout out to our evolving level community supporters, Carlson Partners, Fluid Interiors, Keystone Group International, Modern Foundation, and Rev Advisory Group.
All right, we're back with Nancy. 9 questions.
Great.
I got them right here.
Awesome.
Can you confirm to me that you have no idea what I'm about to ask you?
I have absolutely no idea.
All right, you excited?
I am.
Okay, good. What is one of your hidden talents?
I can touch my nose with my tongue and curl it.
That is a hidden talent. I couldn't do that.
I can also bend my elbow backwards a little bit. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, those are hidden talents.
That's a funny question.
It is a funny question. See, start out strong. What is the strangest thing you've ever eaten?
Oh, I am not super adventurous when it comes to this. I suppose like calamari.
Calamari?
Yeah.
That's the strangest thing?
Maybe. I'm pretty picky.
Do you eat sushi?
Eater. Oh, I love sushi.
Yeah.
Is that strange? No, I stay with the tuna for the most part.
Like I ate like sea urchin one time, and it was the worst thing I've ever ate. I think I've said this on this podcast every time when I ask that question.
Maybe I've tried eel once, and I don't even like mushrooms. So. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Not very
mushrooms are dirt.
Mushrooms are dirt.
They will, and they taste like it.
We're recording this at the end of May, and it's morel mushroom season. And I love mushrooms.
I need to grow up. I don't even drink coffee. I'm a kid. Inside, I am such a kid.
I know you say that. I've heard you say that before, but I despise it.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, another food thing. Describe the perfect sandwich.
Ooh, sandwich. Okay, wow.
Anything
I've had
else?
like 3 things. So it has to have avocado. It probably has to have goat cheese. Has to have cilantro.
Wow.
Maybe turkey. I'm not huge into meat, but I do like turkey. Probably spinach. Mustard. Love mustard. Ever since I was pregnant, I still have a craving 27 years later for
I
mustard.
love mustard too, though.
Yeah. I
Great.
think, and maybe a tomato.
What kind of bread?
What
Are
kind
you
of
using
bread?
Even. I should
Yeah, I love tortillas actually.
assume. A wrap out of it?
Yeah, I think it's a wrap.
All right.
Yeah,
Sweet. Okay, I got a couple of would you rather questions.
yeah.
Would you rather have to make all your own clothes or grow your own food?
Grow my own food.
Grow your own food? Buy your clothes.
Yeah,
At least you know what you're putting in your body.
exactly.
Rather than on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Absolutely.
Interesting. That's a very polarizing question because a lot of people will go multiple directions. On that.
Yeah.
That one doesn't surprise me about you
Interesting.
because I know that you're a little bit of a health nut.
A little bit.
But
A little bit. I mean, I'm not perfect.
well, I don't think anybody is. But like I think just knowing you, that doesn't surprise me. What is one thing that immediately brightens your day?
A great smile from someone.
Oh.
Yeah, absolutely. Or positive news. If somebody shares something positive with me, I'm all about, like, I feel people's energies. I'm an empath that way, which can be good and bad. But yeah, just someone sharing something positive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Smiles.
yeah, smiles.
Where's your happy place?
The North Shore, for sure.
Yeah.
And then I'll have to say California because that's where I think both girls are going to end up there, but one of them's there right now.
Yeah.
The other one lives in New York City, which is a great place to visit too. I don't see them there long term, but
Yeah.
who knows? I mean, they're in their 20s. It's a
Yeah.
great place to be in your 20s.
Yeah, 100% is.
Yeah.
Either one is actually a great place to be in the 20s. It's
Yeah.
just, what do you want to do long term?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh, I did this one specifically for
Ooh,
you.
I should maybe back up.
What?
Banff, Canada. That's my true happy place.
Yeah, I've had friends that have gone there.
Yeah.
Tiff and I have talked about going there too.
Yeah, Lake Moraine specifically.
Really?
Yeah, it's a glacial lake. It's beautiful. It has 10 peaks, called Valley of the 10 Peaks. Highly recommend it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Happy place.
yeah.
All right. What was your favorite concert you've ever attended?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I don't know how much time we have for this story. I'll just say David Byrne.
Good
Story?
off.
Okay, so I wanted to know how serious Stark was about us. And so we were gonna I wanted to go to corporate, I wanted to see the org chart, so we paid our way because I was actually out on an advisory council meeting in Boston for IDG, which is a buying group we used to be a part of.
Yeah.
And I went to, basically I just said, hey, I knew David Byrne was playing his American Utopia on Broadway. And so I asked if they had connections for tickets. I wasn't asking for tickets. And they were like, how many do you need? And I said 6. And they were like, here they are. And Chad Stark's like geek seat ticket thing sent them to my phone, and I was like, oh my gosh. Well, then I wanted to see how good the seats were because I wanted to know how interested they were, and they were pretty good seats. Yeah.
Was that a good show?
It was a great show. I had seen it here in Minneapolis too, but I just love David Byrne.
I just don't. My brother was a huge Talking Heads fan. And he's younger than I am, so he's 40. But boy, that guy. David Byrne doesn't age. Like
No.
his style has not changed.
No.
He stayed true to himself. I've become more of a fan as I've gotten older, so I think it's an acquired taste for me.
Yep.
But I can see why you're a super fan.
Yeah, I am a super fan. And just his intellectual, if you ever get to listen to him speak about, I mean, it's out there, but it's so interesting to me.
He was on Sunday Morning, CBS Sunday Morning a couple months ago.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, would you rather take a busy European vacation for 2 weeks or go to the Caribbean and stay at the same resort for 2 weeks?
Ooh, busy European trip for
Yeah.
2 weeks, for sure.
Would Eric say the same thing?
Yes.
You guys like
Yeah.
moving?
Yeah, I mean, we have to have some downtime.
Yep.
But we did do a European trip for 3 weeks, actually, before we had kids, and we backpacked. And we were moving the whole time. We had these like 55-pound packs, and we were losing weight. It was getting less expensive to buy food as we went south. Like when we got to Italy, we're like, bring on the food. We just lost weight, you know?
Right. Yeah.
But so we stayed a little bit longer in Colliers because we liked it there, and so then we slowed down a little bit. But no, we like to see things and do things and be active.
Yeah. Okay, last one, number 9.
Wow.
Yeah, this
That's
one
quick.
might challenge you a little bit though. If you could have dinner with 2 people, one dead and one alive, who would they be?
Ooh. Okay. Gosh, I'm just gonna off the top of my head because otherwise we could be here all day.
Yeah, for sure.
Oprah Winfrey. I think she'd be really cool to see.
That'd be fascinating.
Yeah. And one dead. Can it be 2?
Let's see. For you, yes. Let's do it.
My parents. My parents.
Yeah, both parents.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah.
You think they'd have a great time with Oprah Winfrey?
Oh, so they all come together?
Hell yeah.
Oh.
This is a dinner. This is like, this is a meeting of the minds.
Oh, I think that'd be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Super fun.
Yeah, go ahead. Oprah Winfrey. That's a curveball. I like that one.
It just came out of nowhere. I think she's so inspirational.
The parents thing doesn't surprise me, and I'm glad you challenged me on that. So
Yeah.
Sometimes I say 3.
I'm always trying to break the rules a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, my mom always said, give her an inch and take a mile.
Yeah.
You don't take no for an answer, do you? I'm like, nope, I don't.
It's the acquisition you just went through, and all the good things and the negotiation of that. And really, at the end of the day, like, that's why we couldn't get you on the show earlier, because you were dealing with a lot of things. You couldn't talk about them.
Yeah.
Now that it's all settled,
Yeah.
I'm happy for you to be able to tell your story.
Thank
I think
you.
more people will find your story fascinating as they get to know you. How can people get a hold of you?
Well, they can look up my LinkedIn, and it's Nancy Nelsen, Nelsen, excuse me, hyphenated F as in Frank, LOM as in Mary.
Yep.
INTERSOURCE by Stark. Instagram is actually Stark Minneapolis now. And what else?
I think so. What we do is we put all your links in our
great.
show notes. So
Okay.
people, if you're watching on YouTube or if you're listening to this, you can just click on that stuff and go right to Nancy.
Great.
I've loved having you part of Coalition 9, being in a group. I see you every single month for a half a day.
Yeah.
It was super fun to be a part of this as a third party in this journey with you, but also just our relationship as how it's evolved from being in the same industry to now just being genuine friends and being advocates for one another.
And
So,
watching you do what you do,
Thank
let's give you some kudos because it's been incredible to watch your journey the last couple of years.
I have the time of my life.
Yeah,
So I
that's
get to do
awesome.
great things like this and get to showcase people like you. So I can't thank you enough. On behalf of Nancy Nelsen-Flom, This has been the Power of 9 podcast. I'm your host, Eggert, and I want to thank you for the privilege of your time.